One of my concerns is that there's a lot of people who are Chihuahuas. And the reason I say that is one of my really, really best friends, his name is Blair Singer. He and I got together to write a book called Sales Dogs. And we want to make the study of selling kind of interesting, because it's a boring subject for a lot of people. So we called it Sales Dogs. And where we got Sales Dogs from was there used to be a product line called Run with the Big Dogs. And it was the Big Dog brand of t-shirts and things like this. I wish I had kept some of them. I think they're out of business now. So Blair and I did a whole thing called Sales Dogs based upon big dogs and small dogs and all this. And the ones I remember, obviously, L. Trump here, he's a big dog. Do you know what I mean? And then there's a lot of guys who are Dalmatians or poodles or Chihuahuas. And I sit there and I look at YouTube. 95% of the people on YouTube are Chihuahuas. They know all the facts and figures and they argue, well, you want this date on this. You can't run with the big dogs if you're a Chihuahua. The other type of person that's on YouTube is called the poodle. And it's generally some little hot chick or some real pretty guy, telling you, oh, this is how you pick up chicks, you know. I'm watching that. And then you have some hot chick that says, well, if you want to get in my pants, this is what you have to do, you know. So I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, what do you want to be in life? What kind of dog do you want to be? Do you want to be a big dog? Or do you want to be one of these Chihuahuas? Holy mackerel, they know every fact and figure. They'll argue about this point and that point. I'm going, or you can be a little poodle running around, or you can be a Labrador, Retriever, big fluffy little animal like this. Oh, just cuddle me, cuddle me, cuddle me. So I just thought I'd take this time with this election here, with me sitting next to a big dog. I like hanging out with big dogs. You know, my friends are big dogs. My congressman friends, governors and all that stuff. Why? I just like them better than Chihuahuas. But those Chihuahuas get all the time on this. I'm going, they argue about some of the most stupid things I've ever heard of. I own gold mines, you know. I own 3 gold mines. I don't just own, I'm not a gold stacker or a silver stacker. I own the gold mines. But that takes time. You know, to learn how to own a gold mine, you have to study. Anybody can buy a little stack of gold coins or Bitcoin. You know, give me a break here. So ladies and gentlemen, my message to you today is, as you grow up, who do you want to be? A Chihuahua? Holy mackerel. They'll debate about nothing. This one guy I was listening to, I won't mention his name, he's kind of a friend of mine, but he was arguing about gold, for gold, against Bitcoin. I'm going, who cares? These Chihuahuas are going at it. Well, Bitcoin's this, and Bitcoin's that, and gold's this, and gold's that. I'm going, it comes down to one thing. How many Bitcoin do you own? How many ounces of gold do you own? How many gold mines do you own? How many rental properties do you own? That's what counts. The rest is all talk. So ladies and gentlemen, I highly encourage you to run with the big dogs. Donald Trump is president number 47, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Before I go into what I want to say, first of all, in the big picture, I support a person's right to choose and vote for who they want to vote for. If you voted for Kamala Harris, good, and Tampon Tim Walz, good for you. And if you voted for Trump and Vance, good for you. But I think a lot of people hate Trump so much, they voted for Kamala and Tampon Tim Walz. And just FYI, Tim, you may not know this, but my friend is investigating Tim Walz. He's the governor of, I think, Minnesota, but he has the teachers' pension plans are empty and his fingerprints are all over it. So for the case against Tim Walz, still not over, but he's under investigation for stealing or emptying or doing nefarious things with the teachers' pensions in the state of Minnesota. I was at a bar last night with my friends, and again, you choose who you want to choose. But I said, we're sitting in the bar, and I said, we could have chosen 2 better candidates just from this bar, you know, I mean, Kamala Harris, I mean, what is wrong with that woman? She can't even, word salad has a whole new meaning to me. And she couldn't debate because she didn't have a prompt card. My God, how did she get so far? We all know how she got so far, but how did she get so far? And Tampon Tim, he puts tampon machines in boys' bathrooms. I'm going, are you kidding me? So like I said, the friends at the bar last night, and then we're not Republican or Democrat, we're just voters. I said, we could have picked 2 better candidates in this bar than Democrats put up. And I think this set the Democrats back a long long, long way. So anyway, I want to talk about my friend Donald Trump, who got elected. I have written 2 books with him, Why We Want You to Be Rich and Midas Touch. And I'll give my experience of him. He's a very, very good man. And I was very happy. I walked out after the election, and I live in a fairly affluent neighborhood. And the policeman came up to me and he goes, "Holy moly." He says, "It's been such a crazy day," because one woman went berserk. She was running around the house saying this, saying that. And he said it took 3 police officers to push her down, so tie her up so she didn't hurt herself. But she was so crazy. She hates Trump that much. I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, it's not that big a neighborhood." And he says, the second guy was running around with a gun into his head. He was going to blow his brains out because Trump won. So we had to go up there with guns and all this stuff. And when they finally got the guy down, he couldn't have killed himself anyway because his gun was on it, not loaded. But it's been one of those elections. I shouldn't laugh at that stuff, but that's how psychotic the world has gotten. So anyway, that's my story about Trump here. And also this here is called Trump vodka. That's how good a friend of mine, he creates his own vodka and gave me this bottle. This is a rare collector's item. I've had many a good night. I got a case of this stuff, good vodka. Interesting thing about Donald, he doesn't drink, but he sells Trump vodka. So this is a huge collector's item. Naturally, it's gold, you know. But in my experience of him, he's a very, very good man. And then this here is a picture. This comes from the Republican National Convention, which was held in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I'm giving this to my housekeeper, Tracy. Says, "Tracy, thank you," because she loves Donald so much. So these are the people that love him. Tracy's been my housekeeper for almost 20 years now. Great young woman. But this is my gift to her because this is a historical moment here, Donald and myself here. So just to let people know this, that we're going to start next year in America, Make America Rich Again. And the plan is we're going to have a 5-city tour across America. They'll be coming there. We're going to have several thousand people per place. We're going to have some of my teachers up there teaching. But the most important thing, we're going to have 1,000 people playing the Cashflow board game. And so when you play the Cashflow board game at this seminar, you're having fun because you're learning. You know, as you were saying, games are the best teachers, because the trouble with teachers at school, like Tampon Tim Walls, they talk and it goes in one ear out the other. I mean, how many of you just sat there going, "What am I listening to here?" But games are the best teachers, because I learned everything playing Monopoly. You know, 4 greenhouses, Red Hotel. Then I got more sophisticated. 4 greenhouses, 1031. Don't pay any taxes, Red Hotels. I own Red Hotels now. This property here, the Arizona Biltmore, I own the golf course, I own the Arrowhead Hotel on there. Kenny McElroy, I own hotels. We learned that playing Monopoly. Okay, so we're going to do a 5-city tour, 2025. That's only planned right now. Thousands of people, Make America Rich Again. And we're going to play the cash flow game. Well, some of my teachers out there. The reason my wife and I, Kim, created the board game was so people could teach people. I want to bypass that communist Marxist school system, because every time the school teachers got a hold of my game, they kept telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. I said, why am I trying to educate somebody who is programmed to be poor? You know, teachers learn don't make mistakes. Well, the reason you play a game is to make mistakes. And teachers say, well, you got to have a pension plan. Well, that's what Tampon Tim Walls, Kamala's vice president, his hands are all over their pension. The pensions are empty because of guys like him. But most school teachers want a pension, so they don't want to take risks. So every time I went into the school system to teach my cash flow board game, the teachers were the worst possible students ever, because it violated their whole core belief system. Number 1 is don't make mistakes. Number 2 is the rich are evil because they're greedy. You know, they believe in Marx. You know, Karl Marx wrote the book Communist Manifesto. He said in the abolition of private property. The teachers believe in the abolition of private property, or as the WEF says, someday you'll own nothing, you'll be happy. Those are school teachers. You know, the rich are the evil people, so they want to take away your property. You know, someday you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And the way our government steals our wealth is via number one, taxation, number two, inflation. So we're going on a 5-city tour next year, 5, across America. You know, Trump and I have gone all over the world teaching, but this I'm going to focus on America. And our theme is Make America Richer. That's our theme. Okay. And then maybe next year we'll have Make the World Richer. But we do that by playing the Cashflow board game and people teaching people, people helping people. And as you know, Ken McElroy is one of my lead teachers because he teaches real estate. Now, it's not real estate. The reason Kenny's McElroy's message is so strong, it's about debt, how you use debt to acquire real estate. And the more debt you use, the less tax you pay. So it makes people nuts to go, well, I should live debt-free. And that's my friend Dave Ramsey, live debt-free. If you don't know what you're doing, live debt-free. And people say, well, you should pay your taxes. Well, then you pay your taxes. But always remember this, America was founded as a tax-free nation. There was a thing called the Boston Tea Party, 1773. And so you go to school, and these Marxist school teachers, like Tampon Tim Walz, well, you should pay your taxes. And anybody who avoids taxes is a crook. You may not remember this or not, but when my friend here, Donald, was running against Hillary Clinton, she says, and Donald doesn't pay taxes during a debate. And Donald says, that means I'm smart. So in this 5-city tour, you'll be playing the Cashflow board game, so you learn how to teach other people. The more people you teach, the more you learn. People teaching people. That's how we change America. But the most important thing about it is you'll learn things like how to pay less taxes, how to use debt to get rich. But they'll never teach you that in school because most school teachers are like my poor dad. They're risk averse. They think making mistakes is terrible, and they should pay your taxes. I don't believe that. So that's why next year, 2025, 5-city tour, Make America Rich Again. If we come near your city, please come and visit it. But we're going to be teaching you what the rich know. And then you still have to learn. But I'll have some great teachers like Ken McElroy, who teaches real estate. He's one of the smartest guys I know. Brilliant, genius. I give him all my money. I may also bring in my friend who, I don't just have gold, I own gold mines. I got five stacks of silver. Oh, give me a break, man. Buy the gold mine, you know what I mean? So we're going to teach you to think bigger. It's hard to get rich when you're thinking this. They say, why is it that women have a hard time counting? Because men keep telling you this is 12 inches. Anyway, you can tell I'm a U.S. Marine. I'm probably never going to go to heaven anytime soon. But I think life is a fun time, great place. Getting rich is the most fun I've ever had. Like, in a few minutes, my new car will be delivered here. It's a Shelby Mustang 500 GT, one of the fastest cars in the world. Why? Because I can afford it. So anyway, I think God wants you to be rich. I want you to be rich. So 5-city tour next year, 2025. Let's make America richer again, but not Trump going to do it. We're going to help Trump do it by teaching people to play the cash flow game, and people can teach people. Let's help our president, Donald Trump, make America richer again.